for speed! Go!
Hey everybody! So, this is kind of funny. So Nick, like, just ran up, he got off his desk, he threw something, and just sped out of the room. Chasing after something. I don't know what where'd you go?
I didn't know you started.
I didn't know either.
Oh, hey!
So, what did you do? You threw something at someone. Are you beating your girlfriend again?
No, my dog jumped on the counter and was trying to eat something off the counter, and I had to stop her. That's all.
That's a big dog. He's got a wait.
Yeah.
Is this the deaf one?
Yes.
This is the deaf
So
one.
I can't just yell.
You have to.
Despite the fact that that's exactly what you did.
No, that's just a natural reaction.
I can't yell at her, so I have to throw things at her head.
We're actually starting to think we're starting to think that she actually might have selective hearing and not actually be deaf.
So you found out your dog may not be deaf. He may just be an asshole.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Actually, it's a bitch.
A bitch. So
not an asshole.
Your dog's a bitch.
So
everybody, welcome to Cocktail Time Live, episode 5 here, 4-player podcast. I'm here this week, back again with Mr. Nick Henderson. How you doing, Nick?
Heyo.
And joining us once again is Chris Davis. How you doing?
Doing all right.
Good. Bob is not with us tonight. Bob is out looking at stars. That's what he's doing. he's gazing upon the stars in the moonlit night. He went to go somewhere somewhere like in the woods or something to watch the lunar
some kind of
the annual solar eclipse.
Yeah, and
is it?
Seeing as I'm from Seattle, like we don't see any sun today. It's all cloudy, so we didn't see kind of anything.
I'm so jealous because it's hot as balls out here.
Really, it's like 50 degrees and raining here.
Ah, that hurts me so much. It really does.
I don't know why you guys continue to abuse yourselves by living in that wretched state.
I don't have an answer for you on that one.
I'm sure Austin's actually.
It's
very
because
cool.
Austin is weird.
Well, see, Austin is sort of like the Portland of Texas.
Yeah, Ami just went to Portland for a week.
I saw that. She was posting about it. How did she enjoy her trip?
She's trying to convince me to move there.
Yeah, you should. You should. I mean, you'd still be 3 hours away from me, so
that is true.
You'd still be pretty far away, but you know, we could you can come up for a.
That's close. That's closer than we are now.
Yeah, now you're like a 3-hour flight. So.
Yeah.
You'd be a 3-hour drive or something like that. Portland's very cool. I love Portland a lot. I like Seattle more, but you know, Portland's cool too. Why Portland? Is it a job thing? Is that what it is?
Yes and no.
Okay.
It's hard to explain.
She just likes Portland.
Yes.
She needs to free her spirit.
She called me day one, and I was like, when she gets back, it's gonna begin.
She feels like her soul is constricted in Austin, and she has to go there for it to be free and spread amongst the universe and stars and stuff.
Amongst the hippies in Portland.
I think Ami's a bit of a hippie, is she not?
It's quite possible.
Yes, I think you're gonna get there. She's gonna stop shaving.
Oh no!
And the dreads will start to come in with the rainbow like tassels and whatnot, and there's the deaf asshole dog.
Sure, no, you bitch! Trying to take shit off the counter.
Oh man,
my bad.
So anyway, welcome to Cocktail Time, guys. Should we just start off with what we're drinking and shots for the show? Should we do it?
Well, Chris is gonna take a shot of mayonnaise this week.
Oh, that's right. We decided that. He was just gonna do straight.
No.
It's not even gonna have Jägermeister. It's just gonna be.
He's gonna snort lines of mayonnaise. He's gonna put them lines down, and you know.
No.
Someone has to be Bob. So
Only Bob can be Bob.
that is,
Let's be honest.
That is true. Someone must attempt. Let's try to fill those.
He could have at least emailed us the list of terrible shots so that we could get Chris to try it.
I don't
whatever the next one is on the list.
I'll tell you what. As much as Bob pretends to suffer through all of his shots, I think he loves every minute of it.
Yeah,
he really
probably
does. He loves it. He's
I don't know how he did
such a-
vomit after the first one.
The,
I almost vomited just watching.
Well, the 2-to-1. For those who are in here for the first time for cocktail time, and my first thing is where the fuck have you been? Jack just tweeted at me or something. Sorry, distraction. So we've been doing shots of the show, and Bob has sort of this list of these horrible shots that he's been doing every show. And the first one was called a hot Mexican hooker, which had tequila, hot sauce, and tuna water in it, being the hot, the Mexican, and the hooker. Each part. I think he actually said it was actually worse. That it was supposed to be tuna oil, but all the tuna he had was the water. So.
Oh God.
Terrible.
It's pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
And then last week was a smoker's cough, which was it was simple. It was just Jägermeister and mayonnaise.
Which is pretty bad.
Which is still pretty disgusting when you think about it.
Still pretty disgusting.
Yeah.
Still pretty disgusting.
But thank God that it's just Bob doing those. He didn't talk us into all doing it.
Bob is taking him for the team. You know, he's being a good wingman, as you know. So
Well, he can wing it as long as he wants because
as long as we can all sit and enjoy it without actually having to do it.
no one else is gonna step up, and that's.
I mean, I'm not doing what Bob typically does tonight, but I literally went into my kitchen and was like, I'll find the only alcohol I can find that I haven't tried yet, and then mix it with something random out of my fridge. And there's not that much to choose from out of my fridge.
Right.
So, yes, it could be a terrible combination.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I don't even know where I got this alcohol.
So why don't you start first?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So.
Touch of the show. Bam. Do it.
Okay. So, I have here. I'm gonna mix it. It's not gonna be a shot. It's gonna be a mixed drink. I mean, this could be awful. I don't know. I found this on top of my fridge. It's Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey.
There's one thing I don't like, and that's cinnamon. Any alcohol, cinnamon, anything. I don't care for that. So.
And I'm going to mix it with a Pepsi.
Oh, that's good. America's drink.
Is that really America's drink?
No, probably Coca-Cola.
I don't think so.
So yeah,
Orange Fanta is Hitler's Germany's drink.
So I'm just gonna mix a pretty healthy amount of this.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's a healthy amount. That's half.
It smells like. Is that? Fuck it.
Just put it. Just go. There you go. Yeah.
I mean, all you have is just a shot there, so.
Woo!
Yeah.
That smells cinnamony.
That's gonna go great with the cola taste of the Pepsi.
Are you sure? Because Ollie was
No.
pretty disgusted when I asked.
No, I'm not sure at all.
I'm
trying to
mix it with this,
I'm trying to help you out here.
and we're gonna see what happens. It's
This
like
might
lightening up.
hurt.
It's like lightening up the color of the Pepsi.
Why did you? Gee, that's a lot of Pepsi in there.
It's cinnamon. Yeah, I know.
But
cinnamon.
I don't blame you though. I'd be watering that shit down.
I really don't want to taste the cinnamon very much.
Yeah.
So
Too bad.
that's what I'm doing.
Cinnamon has a way of cutting through everything. You could be
Yeah.
getting fucked in the ass, and someone could put a cinnamon lollipop in your mouth and be like, ooh, cinnamon.
This actually smells pretty good. I can just. It smells kind of like Christmas, actually.
Really? God, I used to mix alcohol in college all the time. I used to call myself an alcohol alchemist. Is what I used to say. And I would combine like whiskey with wine with like all this other stuff. I probably haven't written down some of my weird concoctions, but I mixed up something
really bubbly.
That's just the Pepsi.
No, like unusually bubbly. On top.
It might be.
It's like. It doesn't look like normal.
Let's see. Let's put it up to the camera. Let's see what we have.
I can't really do that without pouring it on my.
No, can you you can't just
trust me. Just trust me.
You can't just pick it up.
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know. So why don't you start with your shot of the show?
My shot of the show.
Your gulp. It'll be your gulp of the show.
Well, I
Your
thought we were gonna
toast.
go around and we're all gonna say what we're drinking, and then we'll do the shots.
We always do it differently.
Oh.
We're kind of like, you know. So you just
All right.
do your toast. You're trying to stall, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm drinking. Oh, there's a little bit left. Oh, that's more cinnamon in there. There we go. So my toast of the show is gonna go to E3.
Mm-hmm.
It's in 2 weeks. I'm excited.
I can't believe that freaked me out today.
Yeah, I'm getting a little nervous. We still have lots to do to prepare.
I made all of all of my appointments are pretty much made.
Yeah, there's a few publishers that aren't really communicating.
We're in with Square Enix pretty quick though this year, so that's
we got appointments with Square Enix and help me here, Chris. I know you're on the Bethesda.
I have
you got Crytek.
I have an appointment to see PlanetSide 2.
There was one other.
Chris, you got an invite to the Hawken party, didn't you?
We all got.
No, I did not.
No, we all got that.
Maybe I can email them, see if I can get you on the list.
Email that.
That would be nice.
I have
I don't even know how they got my email.
I'm very excited. I have my my appointment to see NBA Baller Beats.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
You're actually going to that?
Yes, of course I am.
Brad's gonna want to go with you on that.
I'm gonna miss NBA Baller Beats. I'm a 5'5" white guy. Of course I'm gonna go see NBA Baller Beats.
That's gonna be awesome. I think we're gonna try and get some video of that too, so people can watch.
Oh, that'd be good. Basketball be bigger than my head.
Well, yeah, that's true. So that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like there's another. Chris, you have an appointment with Konami, don't you?
I would pull up my calendar, but it'll black my screen region, so I can't do it.
Hopefully, I have an appointment with Konami.
Konami is not very forthcoming.
Yeah, they contacted me for an appointment. I replied immediately and said, "Hey, this time it's just fine for me. How's it about you?" Never heard back. It's been like a week and a half.
That happened the first year for us with Square Enix. They contacted us and we were like, "Yeah, that works great." And then our emails back, and then we showed up and we were like, "So we should be on the list. Y'all contacted us." And they're like, "I don't see you here." And I was like, "Maybe because nobody ever got back to me." But fuck it, I'm sure it'll be fine. We've never been turned away, straight up turned away. So
just as long as I get to play Revengeance, I'll be happy.
Yeah, is that confirmed to be playable at the show?
It was confirmed like a month ago.
All right, that's cool. So there's a lot of developers that are that keep saying things about not being there at the show or not having big products there at the show. I know BioShock Infinite is confirmed to not be on the show floor or anything like that.
They said they're putting that game under wraps for a while.
Yeah, and a lot of people are taking that to be negative. And a lot of people are like, I have a bad feeling about E3 this year, which they might be right. It could be a bad year. I think last year was actually a pretty poor year for E3. But then again, you got to think that also kind of frees up space for a bunch of new stuff that maybe we've never seen before to be there. So,
well,
I mean,
Valve is going to have a booth, but they're going to have a booth in the private sections.
Yeah, it's a private meeting room.
Yeah, they have a private meeting room.
But what are they showing?
Probably, it's gonna
just Dota, I think.
It's gonna.
Oh, okay.
It's. I was gonna say. I was gonna do the. What's his name? What the fuck is the Valve guy's name?
Gabe Newell.
Gabe Newell's he's the latest entry in the blog, Biggins and Smollins, which is. Have you seen this?
I have not.
There's this Tumblr. I think it's called like Biggins and Smollins or something like that, and it's it's like big fat naked guys with small dicks, and that's the whole thing.
Where and why do you find these things?
I'm gonna be honest, dude. I was listening to Cocktail Time last week's show the other day.
Yeah, you missed a good one.
No, I mean, yeah, you're right. I did. I was listening to it, and I realized that you are the only person I've ever met that is so clearly straight, but so open about being maybe gay or I don't know how to say it. You're very clearly straight,
right?
But you're so comfortable with the gay.
I'm very comfortable with my sexuality.
Oh, we were going to a gay bar. And then that led to a really great conversation, by the way. But I was like, I don't understand it. He's talking about dicks and gay bars and stuff, but there's no question in my mind. It's just I've never met anyone like you. It's very strange.
I'm very comfortable with my sexuality and fascinated by the sort of the whole homosexual world. It fascinates me because it's only something that men could come up with. Like, you know, like the leather.
What was the name of the bars that y'all were talking about last night? You were, and then Bob was like, you got to give it to them. Gays have like the greatest names for their bars.
Yeah, one was called Strawberries. The other was called Stallions. You know?
Stallions.
It's like only a guy would fucking come up with that.
Yeah.
You know?
Stallions. I laughed pretty hard at
like
that.
A bar where you go and you're dressed in leather and people shine your boots while giving you Jaeger. Only a guy would come up with this
Is shine
shit.
your boots, like, are they really shining your boots?
Yeah,
or is it,
no, they have
is that code for something?
No, I know what you mean, but there's shining stations where you sit down and they have all the shining.
Are you sure it was boots and it wasn't balls?
I'm positive. They were shining boots. It was just get their boots nice and shiny.
Are you sure you didn't just walk up and say, "Hey, can you shine my boots?" when they were like, "I guess, but we're really
Well,
here to shine your balls"?
No, because for Leathermen, it's all about the leather and the smell of the leather and the shiny leather and the feel of it. It's a very sensual sort of thing. They don't just dress in the leather; they become one with the leather.
I see. I guess I'm just not familiar with the culture
Yeah.
like you are.
Did you ever see the movie Cruisin'?
No.
It's not a porno or anything. It's actually a movie from the late 1970s with Al Pacino, I think. No, not Al Pacino. The guy, maybe it's Al Pacino. Is it Al Pacino or Robert De Niro? I think it's Robert De Niro.
I always get them confused.
I do too. But it's a pretty decent movie. But it's about all these murders that are happening in the New York City gay leather scene. And Robert De Niro he's a cop and he goes undercover into this scene to sort of track down the killer.
And does that involve leather?
It doesn't involve a lot of leather.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
Sounds like a real winner.
Yeah.
maybe I'll catch that one day.
What the fuck are we talking about?
So, by the way, I'm gonna go ahead and drink. Am I drinking my? Am I gonna try this now?
No, we'll toast. We'll do what you're. Oh yeah, do your toast. So you're toasting to E3.
Toasting to E3. I'm actually excited. It could turn out to be a bust, but every year is kind of give or take. The first year we went was awesome. Second year was okay. Last year was kind of iffy. So this
what was
year
it
could be
about?
a good-
Do your toast, and I have a question for you.
Actually, no. Sorry. Last year was pretty good. The year before that, I thought was the one that was pretty boring.
There was one like 2. I don't remember.
It was the one where they announced Twisted Metal at the Sony conference, where there was almost nothing notable at the Sony conference except for they showed Twisted Metal at the end, and Kevin Butler came out and did his funny speech or whatever.
That was the second.
But,
so that wasn't last year. That was the year before.
Yeah, the year before that.
Yeah. So last year was the one
was-
when they started with the apology and the food.
Yeah, last year they paid us off with lots and lots of free food and drinks, which was cool. And they showed Uncharted 3, which was nice. But yeah, the conferences last year were kind of lacking. Although there were a lot of really cool surprises coming out of Ubisoft last year. Like, they announced Brothers in Arms Furious 4.
Which might be canceled. Which might be canceled. We'll talk about that later.
They confirmed that it's not canceled,
Have
I'm
they?
pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah, but
And Far Cry 3.
Far Cry 3, that blew my mind last year, because I didn't even see that coming, and I was watching the trailer.
We gotta talk.
And
We gotta talk about that.
I remember
too,
Brad tapped me on the shoulder, and he's pointing to the teleprompter behind me before it ever said Far Cry 3, and I was like, what is this? And I turned around and looked, and I was like, oh! And I made that exact face.
Brad has a bad habit of watching the He'll watch the teleprompter and.
Well, that's because he's every year at Ubisoft, he's staring at the teleprompter, waiting for the words Beyond Good and Evil
to show up every year. So people,
and then one year he sees Michelle Ancel's name appear on screen. He's like, oh!
Yeah.
And then they brought out
The French guy.
what was the yeah? What was the other game he's working on?
It was Rayman.
Yeah. Then they showed Rayman Origins, and he was like, oh.
Yeah. People don't realize it, but every year during the Ubisoft concert, Brad press conference. Brad doesn't watch the stage. He watches the monitor the entire time with his head crooked around like that.
Which makes the people behind him feel real awkward.
Yeah, because Brad's like staring at him the whole time.
I kind of do that with the Nintendo press conference, so...
Yeah, but that's only because he can't
I
understand.
understand.
They only do that because he can't understand what they're saying.
Yeah,
That's
that
not
too
always true.
sometimes.
I know, I'm joking because it's in Japanese actually.
You think we'll finally see anything about or they'll show any useful software for the Wii sensor thingy?
The
You know what I'm
Wii
talking
U?
about? No, the little Wii finger
Vitality
sensor.
sensor.
A vitality sensor.
There we go, the vitality sensor. Thank you, Chris, for knowing.
Well, the only time they showed that was at the Ubisoft conference.
No, they showed that at the Nintendo conference like 2 years ago, which was another reason that was the lamest
No,
set
but
of conferences.
at the Ubisoft conference, they showed some meditation game. Remember
Oh,
the guy had
yeah.
the Wii U thing, the Wii's vitality sensor on? Like, you have to breathe along with the rabbits.
Yeah, no,
It was terrible.
yeah. So hopefully none of that bullshit. Well, I'm sure there'll be some
Of
of
course
it.
there's going to be that, but there's always the bullshit.
There always will be.
So here's my.
But
We'll
we
get to.
shouldn't be so.
We'll do a little prediction segment later,
Yep.
maybe. Let's move on with the toast, because I really want to drink this before it becomes completely disgusting.
Okay, Mr. Chris Davis.
Well, this looks like just your ordinary vanilla cream soda. But what it actually is half of vanilla cream soda, and the other half is Treaty Oaks rum.
Oh.
You know, just kind of shaken together and...
Wait, so did you drink half of it and then add the rum?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
It's not pre-bottled like that. Very good. What's your toast, my friend?
My toast goes out to Rocket, the creator of DayZ. He's the New Zealander who works at Bohemia Interactive in the Czech Republic, who is the man behind it, and I just started playing it today. I'm actually really enjoying it.
Cool.
It's really
I know. I think Sci-Fi broadcasted it yesterday a little bit, or maybe the day before.
We did it. We've been doing community nights using DayZ. We did our first one on Friday. I played it as well. So when we get to impressions, let's talk about that because that's gonna be something I want to talk about as well.
I don't really know anything about it, so I'm kind of eager to hear about it too.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Awesome. I am drinking rum and coke in my Atari. What is this? Missile Command glass. As you can see, and I'm gonna toast to Rockstar. Same toast I had last week.
I call bullshit.
Nick only sees that picture of me. Rockstar, because I toasted them last week. It was the Sunday before the Tuesday release of Max Payne, and I said at the time that I'm really confident this is going to be a really good title from what I had seen. Finally played Max Payne, finished it on Friday, and I got to admit, it might be my favorite Rockstar game yet.
I'm finishing my review today.
And it blew me away. It completely blew me away. So
I have some opinions on it.
I'm not saying it's the most perfect game in the world, but it's just fantastic. So to Rockstar for making
It's a good. I don't think there's any doubt it's a good game. I have some.
Just
some qualms with it,
saying
though.
it's good. I don't think it's doing it justice.
It's.
No, I think it is.
I think it's safe. Nicely said. I do think. Well, this is not the point for me to like shoot down your toast.
Let's just do our toast.
I don't want to do that because I would toast to Rockstar for Max Payne because of something for reasons other than what you're probably toasting to them for. Because I think there's definitely things to appreciate about that title and things to take out of that title, especially in relation to Rockstar.
Right.
But we'll talk about that.
Okay.
In a little bit.
So we shall do our toast first, shall we, gentlemen?
This might be disgusting.
1, 2, 3. Excellent.
You know?
How was it?
That's actually really, really good.
See, that's the thing. When you become an alcohol alchemist, you discover new things. You discover.
Mommy,
you discover
come
gold.
drink this.
You discovered gold. You've taken lead and you've made gold.
She doubted me. I want her to try this.
You know, you've become a full metal alchemist.
A full metal alcoholist.
No, I actually experimented a little yesterday for my inebriation broadcast. Sorry, inebriation broadcast.
Inebriation, right.
Yeah, I took a... It was weird. I was at Specs and I bought like $90 worth of liquor because I was about bloody time I got some. I bought some, after trying it, some Smirnoff whipped cream vodka. And I mixed it... Whipped cream
vodka. Interesting.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. It's pretty smooth. Plus it was like $13 a bottle. No, whipped cream.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah.
I had a friend tell me yesterday he tried cucumber vodka.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Oh.
He said it was delicious.
You know what? I once went to a bacon party and someone brought bacon-flavored vodka. It was the worst thing I ever had in my fucking life. It was like drinking old man stinky feet, like an old diabetic's like gangrene feet. It was awful.
Lovely. But no, I mixed this.
No, I believe me, bacon is good. Vodka is good. Bacon vodka is not good.
Not
good.
Not good.
Two things good things together do not necessarily make a great thing.
All right.
Anyway, I mixed this with some orange juice and some pineapple juice. I swear to God, it was like an alcoholic version of a dreamsicle. It was awesome.
I can get behind that. That sounds cool. I do like dreamsicles.
Uh-huh.
I do like alcohol.
The look on Chris' face when he just said that with the bottle in his mouth was fucking hilarious.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. See, this is why you need to watch this show live, because if you miss a live cocktail time, you miss all of these nuances. You know, you just can't listen to the audio. You only listen to the audio when you have to. You have to watch. Watching doesn't really make sense. So let's do impressions. Let's move on. What time is it? 8:32. We can do impressions. We won't take a break yet.
All right.
Do you guys want to take a break real quick, or you want to do impressions?
Wait, how long have we been going? I thought we'd do it at 45 minutes.
Yeah, but it's 8:32.
Yeah,
we'll go till.
It's only been like 20 minutes.
We'll go to 9, and we'll take a break. So let's start with impressions. I want to talk about Max Payne. We said that we have DayZ. What have you been playing, Nick?
Me?
Yes, you.
Max Payne 3.
Oh, okay.
I was playing through it for review, and I don't know. My schedule's been kind of crazy. I've been spending a lot of time working on site stuff outside of writing or actually playing games.
Right.
So most of my time tonight has been spent, or in the past week, has been spent playing through Max Payne.
Well,
I started on the feed on Tuesday for New Release Tuesday, and I just wrapped it up today.
Then we should dive in to Max Payne.
Oh, that's great. Let's dive into it. That's a funny joke.
You know?
The game's about diving and shit.
Yeah, no one's used that joke yet, you know?
Yeah, let's talk about Max Payne. We actually spent a really long time talking about it on the regular show this week because we had Jack and Carlos and Mike on the show, and they had all been playing it. So we spent the only game we talked about during the impression segment this week was Max Payne 3. So, so I'm curious to hear what y'all think about it. My opinion differs a little bit having finished the game now, especially after that final act or final 2 chapters or so that I played in the game.
It's not an easy game. It's not an easy game.
It's not an easy game. I knew that going in, and I knew that after the first few chapters, like, especially when I turned it to free aim, I was like, this game ain't easy.
What you have to remember about Max Payne is Max Payne 3 has 6 different difficulty levels. It has easy, normal, and hard. And then you have your 3 difficulty levels for this aiming. Free aim, soft aim, and hard lock. So, I mean, there's a lot of ways to play this game.
And I was playing on normal mode with free aim.
So I would call normal on free aim like hardness level 4. You know what I mean?
Out of 6?
Out of 6, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't have any qualms about the fact that it's difficult. I kind of accepted that about halfway through the game and kind of got over that. It's the issues that I was having with cheap deaths thanks to a poorly placed camera, or usually, especially in like when you go into like last man standing mode, like there were times where I would fall to the ground, and it's very clear that I had a line of sight to the person that shot me, because the only way to revitalize yourself during last man standing is to kill the person that shot you. Even if you shoot other people, it doesn't it doesn't revitalize you. You have to shoot
the person that shot you. Yeah.
Which I get. It's totally cool.
You have to wait for the gun to get around in order to get a shot in.
Yes. So 2 things happened. Yeah. So one of which, there were several times that this happened to me. I don't know why I wasn't out of ammo, because when you run out of ammo, you can still hear the gun clicking as he's firing.
Yeah, but you can't. There were times you can't reload in Last Stand.
Yeah, you can't reload in Last Man Standing. So there'd be times when I would go into Last Man Standing and I wasn't out of bullets, because you can hear it clicking when you are. That I would start pulling the trigger and nothing would happen. The gun just wouldn't fire.
Really?
There wasn't a clicking noise. It wasn't firing.
That never happened.
And I was like, what the fuck? And then I died. But the most frustrating thing, and I died so many times because of this bullshit, is I would go into Last Man Standing, and I would be like in some weird like corner next to a death or something, where, based on the camera angle that I had, I could tell that Max Payne had a line of sight to the person that shot him. You can tell he can see him, but your camera is in a position where you can't see where you're aiming. So I had no way of shooting the guy that shot me. So I would die. And that happened countless times, especially in that last level in the airport.
Like, say that again. So you can't... You can see him, but Max can't see him?
From your camera, you can tell that Max... Like, okay, so here's the best example I can think of. I was in the final shootout level in the airport where you're in the hangar.
Right.
And they have those, like, luggage carrier things. And I did a dive to my left, and a guy shot me mid-dive, and I ended up landing in the middle, in between 2 of those luggage carriers. And I could see from my camera angle that he could shoot between those 2 luggage carriers at the dude that shot him.
But the bullet was hitting like an edge of a wall or wedge. No,
it wasn't. Else. Like, but from where my camera was, I couldn't see the guy that shot me, but he could. So I was just firing blindly, but I couldn't see where the fucking guy was because my camera was fucked up.
Okay.
But it was very obvious that he could.
Okay. Right.
And I died, like, that happened countless times. Like, there was like 3 firefights in that last level alone that I had to restart probably 10 plus times.
Really? Wow.
shit like.
I see. I didn't have that problem. Like
But-
that never happened to me once in the game.
It was
that
so
happened to me
mind-numbing.
a shitload.
Really?
I would have turned the game off and stopped playing today if I didn't want to finish it for review.
Right.
I was like, I got to the point where if I had hair, I'd be pulling it out. It was so frustrating.
See,
I even thought about getting on Twitter and be like, I fucking hate this game. But I didn't because I was supposed to review it. And I didn't want people thinking, oh, well, now he's gonna be biased.
Right. I see. It's fun to me. I died a lot in those last sections. That last firefight, I died a whole bunch because there's guys on top of the stairs. There's not much cover. There's really not much you can do. And really, I mean, during that period, it just comes down. I think that last section just comes down to luck. I mean, you were just able to get the right guys at the right time, get your head, because those final guys. I mean, you body shots don't do anything for the most part. You have to get headshots or hit them in the legs or something like that to get damage taken off them, because you'll even see in those final kill cams, you'll shoot him in the head and it'll go down, and then you'll keep shooting, and you actually see the bullets that hit their bulletproof vests like bounce off.
Yeah.
So I mean, that doesn't do anything. So you've got to go for. You really unless you're going for headshots, you're gonna lose.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Chris, your wiener is on cam.
My wiener is also furry.
You're a big furry wiener.
Orange and white stripe.
You're a big furry wiener.
I'm sorry, I've been waiting like a minute to make that joke.
It's so big, I can just keep throwing it right here on camera.
Your
Don't even
cat
have
may
to
not
fucking
like that.
Bend over.
Your cat may not be a fan
my
of
God.
that. But
Get down.
back to Max Payne.
Yeah.
There were. I feel like I made it through that last two levels, the police station and the airport level. I made it through those levels pure luck alone.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't feel like I was actually. Okay, not because you combined that that shitty camera element with moment because of the character, because he's like an older guy now. He's not that typical age of like an action hero.
Right.
He's very much like I made this comparison on the show. He's very much like a John McClane, like
Die
Bruce
Hard,
was.
yeah.
Especially like the newer Die Hard movies where he's getting up there in age. And like when you fall to the ground and you have to get up, like it takes a good.
It's not quick. Yeah.
2 or 3 seconds to wait for him to get his ass up, and those 2 or 3 seconds can be the difference between dying and living in a firefight.
Well, it's almost like whenever you dive, you have to dive to cover. You can't dive out into the open for the most part.
And I appreciate their attention to detail and like sticking to their guns with that. That's really cool. It makes the character very authentic and very real and easy to watch. But fuck, I died so many times because that stupid old asshole wouldn't get off the ground.
You have to. I mean, it's all. I mean, I hate to say. I mean, you just have to do it. You like I said, you can't dive into open areas unless you have easy shots on everyone else. And if you're almost out of bullet time, you almost have to like jump, land, and then hit bullet time again.
Yeah,
So,
but then there are times okay, here's another thing. There are times when I feel like I'm diving out of pure desperation because I feel it's my only option.
Yeah.
Because there's so many dudes in so many different areas in the environment that I was like, I can't even keep track, and it's just like I could be focusing on one guy, and like by the time I commit to shooting this guy, I realize it's already too late because the guy on the right shooting me, and I'm in bullet time, and I'm trying to like switch over to shoot the other guy, and I'm like, no, and that's kind of a pain in the ass. But there was more.
But I mean, you are right when you said it comes down to luck. It kind of really does, because it really depends on how the AI reacts to what you're doing. Sometimes the AI will just kind of swarm you at certain points. They'll just literally run up and start like shooting you in the face or try to.
This goes back to I remember I think you tweeted, Joseph, when you first started playing this game about how you thought some of the firefights were too frenetic. There's too much going on. It's totally true.
Yeah.
Like to the point where it's like I don't even feel like I have the right tools to survive this fight because it's just like oh my god, I'm just shooting everybody and like diving out of desperation and
they'll spawn like 8 guys all around you, and it's like well
yeah, and like especially that last fucking level, that last fight in the hangar is fucked.
Yeah, it is.
Like
I only had to restart it like 3 times, so I was.
You are a lucky man because I would have. But to be totally honest, though, that's not something that I'm gonna like dock the game like major points for. I think for the most part that game is a very well made game and the biggest thing I'm taking out of this game is that I've always kind of wanted to see how Rockstar, especially Rockstar of today, handles developing a single player linear experience because they've always been about open world games. That I was like, I don't even know if they can do it. They're so about open world. It's kind of like how would they apply their storytelling techniques and their uh, their gameplay innovations to a single player experience, and I think they nailed it. I
almost think they're almost better at it. You know, because it seems like some of those open world games they're open world, but they seem very empty at the same time. But when they've sort of done more of a linear single player experience, where they sort of condense the experience to just one track, they're able to fill it with so much cool stuff and so many cool interactions that it seems like a much more fully interactive world than, like, say, Red Dead Redemption, which is a game I love. But after a while, after you finish the main story, you're just kind of running around a big open plains.
And, I mean, that's the nature of open world games in general, especially if they let you continue to play it afterwards. Here's the comparison I want to make now, having finished the game, because now that I kind of have a feel for how Rockstar would handle single player linear games like this, the game that I think this comes closest to, and this is probably the best thing I can say about it, because there's so many linear shooters out there that you can't just say Max Payne is a linear shooter, because it's more than that. And I would say the closest experience that I've had to a game like Max Payne has been Uncharted, like 2 and 3. Like,
I haven't played Uncharted.
Packed. Oh, what the fuck? What the?
I've never played an Uncharted game.
Get off this fucking podcast right now and go play Uncharted 2, 3.
I almost see it now as a badge of honor that I've never played an Uncharted game.
No, if you enjoy Max Payne 3, you have to play Uncharted 2, because from the storytelling, like the way storytelling is blended so brilliantly into the gameplay as you're playing it, and the shooting mechanics, the cover mechanics, even though the cover mechanics in this game are kind of iffy. Like, I got one thing I hate with this game is you can't switch from cover to cover. You have to, like, get out of the cover and then run around to the other cover and get into it. You can't
you bullet time into the cover.
And your character's so fucking heavy that you got to go through different animation sequences and actually get out of cover and then get back into cover.
Exactly. Are you saying he's fat, Chris?
He is fat. Actually,
he kind of is.
Do you notice how he gets fatter throughout the game? He does.
Really?
But watch the character. The character's thinner. The character's thinner at the beginning of the game than he is at the end of the game.
That's weird.
The character actually ages a little bit as the game progresses, which is really amazing. It's something we can talk about when we talk about Max as a character.
Yeah. But here's what I'll say. The closest experience I've had as a, like, super cinematic, super polished third-person shooter is Uncharted 2 and 3. So, Joseph, if you liked Max Payne 3, which it seems like you really did, you have to play Uncharted 2 and 3, because it's great for the same reasons. It has fun mechanics, but it's built around a super seamless storytelling experience with a character that you just love to watch. Right. And you love to watch his interactions with other people. And it's a little bit it's a different dynamic in this game, because Max Payne, it's like you're watching how he hates the world, and you just like watching him like,
I feel
people suck.
I feel like a lot of kinship with Max Payne and the way he feels about things.
But in Uncharted,
and his drinking habits.
And Uncharted is different because you're there to watch Nathan Drake, and you're kind of in. It's not. You eventually get to a point where you're invested in his caring for Elena and Sully, and you like to watch their interactions.
Is that Sully from X-Files?
No, you mean
Scully.
Scully. You drop the C. But yeah, it's the same dynamic. I mean, it's the same. You go to those games for the same reasons, but it's a different dynamic between the characters. But you would like Uncharted 2 and 3, I think.
I'm writing it down. Look, Uncharted.
Can't. All I see is this.
There it is. Uncharted.
But I mean, the thing is, Uncharted still does it better, as far as the super cinematic, super set piece moments, especially Uncharted 2, set piece moments every 5 seconds that are just mind blowing.
Max Payne isn't about huge set piece moments though.
I mean, but you have those moments where it's like he runs in and he grabs the chain and hits the handle, and the chain yanks him in the air, and you go into slow mo and you're shooting dudes.
But it's all fucking seamless. It's amazing.
I mean, it's the same thing in Uncharted, except in Uncharted, instead of doing slow-mo shooting set pieces, it's like, holy shit, this train is coming off the rails and I'm inside of it and I gotta fucking
Is it all seamless in Uncharted as well?
Oh yeah, it's all
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more seamless than Max Payne, because Max Payne still has it still takes control over the character at certain moments, he'll slow down to a walk, whatever,
right.
And then it will blend into a cutscene at some point. And Uncharted is very much shit can be happening at any moment. It's mind-blowingly cinematic.
Right. That's
but it's all happening in game.
One cool thing I've always have seen about Uncharted and observed is that, well, a lot of games, I'm not talking about Max Payne here, but a lot of games will have their coolest moments be CGI moments. Uncharted takes those moments and makes them playable.
Yes, yes, that's very much that's exactly what it is. And Max Payne does a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, given that you seem to really enjoy Max Payne, you have to play Uncharted 2 and 3.
Okay.
Uncharted 1, not so much. I mean, Uncharted 1 is great, but it definitely didn't pick up that style of presentation until 2 and 3.
I just never got to it. Like, Uncharted would come out and something else would come out at the same time that I was reviewing or had to play, and it never worked out for me to play those games.
Especially Uncharted. I mean, Uncharted 3 is great, but I still think 2 is the best.
2, yeah, definitely.
So, I don't care if you don't play 1 or 3, but like if you play 2, you'll want to play 3 for sure because they're fantastic, and I love those characters. I love Nathan. I love Sully. I love Elena. Chloe's all right.
Chloe's are always just all right.
Chloe's all right, if you know what I mean.
Oh, is she all right? Like all right?
She's real smart.
What? What is that a euphemism for something?
Really?
Like she's got a big blue.
Never heard that? Like you know what I'm talking about, right, Chris?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
That's what guys say without saying, "Man, look at those tits." You say she's real smart.
Really?
I mean, if you're trying to be really if you're not trying to be coy about it, you'd be like, "That girl's real smart," and you do the little.
I've never heard this in my life.
And on the exact opposite spectrum, you got fat chicks, and you say, she has a great personality.
Yes, it's the exact same thing as saying that.
Well, see, but that makes sense though, because you're saying that you're not going to be sexually attracted to her, but she has a great personality. Like the smart and the breast thing doesn't match up for me.
No.
How does somebody go, she's real smart? I'll go, oh, right. Good. Well, I can talk to her about the Ukraine Republic then.
Two reasons why you can't comment on this. One, you're spending way too much time in gay bars. Two,
I haven't been in weeks.
You've always been very open about the fact that you like small breasts.
That's true.
You would never say that. You'd be like, oh, that girl's real smart.
Oh man, it's like 2 mountains of jelly. Get buried to death.
You'd be like, it's like bags of sand.
Suffocate. It's like making
sand.
Building a dike during a flood.
Oh man.
She turns too fast and gets you in the face, she'll knock you out.
That is true. That'll happen. It's happened to me.
It's like a boxing accident.
So my Max Payne review will be up tomorrow.
Oh, good.
So
excellent. So what do you guys? I was really impressed also with the characterization of Max. That Max as a character, just generally, I thought he was really cool.
Very, very good voice acting and presentation of the character.
Just top notch. Yeah. Top notch.
One thing though, I really was kind of not underwhelmed because I think the story was really well told, but I was kind of surprised by the lack of story. There's a story there. Right. But it seemed to have no consequence or no real significance or importance to that character.
Well, you have to, I would disagree with that. I mean, Max Payne is all about the character, and what happens around him, the kidnapping itself, is really just a vehicle for Max, doing his self-introspection, and in this case, trying to find redemption from a great fall, which is really what Max Payne is generally. He's always falling and trying to find redemption.
I guess that kind of one of my most shameful things is that I haven't played Max Payne 1 or 2, so I didn't really know what to expect from the story. Yeah. But by the time it ends, while it was really great, it still felt like it could have been just a Die Hard movie.
Yeah, but that's Max Payne.
I felt like I was literally playing Die Hard 5.
Yeah, that's Max Payne for the most part.
And what the fuck is with the achievements? I'm a Cheevo-whore now. I don't know if y'all know this.
Oh, you really? When did this happen?
I don't know, David.
I thought he's been done for months with being Cheevo-whores.
I know it's been passed on. I don't know.
You caught it like a virus.
The Cheevo-whoring. The thing is, I finished this game, and I played this game probably for 12 to 13 hours total, probably, given all the times I died. But I got 190 Cheevo points.
Yeah.
What the fuck? And you know what?
Yeah.
And then I went back and realized that half those are the ones where you're in those slow-mo sequences and you have to shoot a number of dudes while you're from the chain or whatever.
They're hard to get.
You have to be in free aim. I didn't switch to free aim until halfway through the game, so I missed out on all those.
Oh, you can go back. You can go back and do the chapters and then do.
Yeah, I know.
And do checkpoints.
But I mean, and then also I got to that one sequence where you run in the room and you jump on this cart and the cart goes sliding across the room and you're shooting through the window, and you have to kill 6 dudes. And I tried it. I did it 30 times before I actually
30 times?
I did it. I was like, I am not finishing this game without getting one of these fucking achievements.
Wow.
And It took me 30 tries, and because it's going super, like it's going fast. I mean, it's in bullet time, but like it's still going pretty fast. And you have to kill 6 of them, and I only had a pistol equipped, so like when I ran in the room, it like when you restart the checkpoint, it just loads with whatever gun you had in your hand. So I'm on this cart with a pistol, trying to shoot 6 dudes, and you have to kill them. So if I shoot them in the chest, there's a chance they'll survive. So I had to like basically try and get 6 headshots in a row while sliding diagonally through this room, and it took me like 30 tries. And I got the Cheevo, and I was like, that really wasn't as satisfying as I was. I don't know why I just wasted fucking like 30 minutes trying to do this.
It's like trying to lay a hot girl, and she ends up sucking in bed. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
I mean that's never happened to me though.
You never laid a hot girl, I know. Boom! Boom!
You sly bitch. You sly bitch.
Ami's gonna come after you next time you're in Austin, man.
Except she's in Portland. She's coming here more often than I'm out down there. I have to watch my back.
Joe, oh god, man! I just breathed in this.
Don't ask me.
Like I went to take a sip, and I was about to drink it, and then I had to stop to say something, and I like inhaled, and like it's like whiskey cinnamon breath, like burns going down. Okay,
but anyway, I love Max Payne. I thought it was fantastic. I know you guys had your issues with it, but I personally think it's like one of the best third-person shooters I've ever played. I mean, I agree with you that a lot of the fights are just a little too frantic and way too many guys coming from all over the place, and your cover sucks. Like, I didn't say literally.
Sorry.
I didn't say literally.
You don't have to, Joseph.
I don't.
You don't have to.
It's understood.
It's understood, exactly.
I honestly think, and this is probably going to tick both of you off, but I think Stranglehold was a better game.
I've never played Stranglehold.
Really should.
You mean gameplay-wise? Like, strictly gameplay-wise?
And more so in parts of the story department.
You know, I haven't played Stranglehold in a...
Load it back up. It's actually a very fun game.
I'll add that to my backlog, because I do want to play it. But, I don't know. I think I connect more with that style of... Because that's like a John Woo action movie,
yeah,
and this is more like a... what's the word?
American.
Hard-boiled? Is that the common term for this kind of story?
Hard-boiled is a Japanese movie as well.
Oh, that's the... I don't know. It's very much like a American...
I think you said it... I think you got it right when you said Die Hard.
Yeah. Not to mention, like, there were times that I was looking at this and I was like, God, he looks a lot like Bruce Willis.
Oh, it's the baldness and... You know.
Like, I was like, they could have swapped. They could have brought him and mocapped Bruce Willis, and I would have like not known the difference between him and what's his face.
You want to have...
If Bruce Willis was on steroids, boom, Max Payne.
Yep. Pretty much.
If you want to have a funny experience.
Did you see the last Die Hard movie? Like totally over the top, like crazy, like this kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like this could have been a Die Hard movie. Like the first few Die Hard movies are kind of like, I don't want to say grounded in reality because they're very much not. But there's not a whole lot of like jumping from one moving train to another kind of stuff. It's very much just like, oh, terrorists take over the airport and I'm gonna just go around and kill them all. But this one's
jumping from an 18-wheeler onto an F-35.
Exactly. That happened in the fourth Die Hard movie, and in this game there's tons of times where he like jumps off of like a collapsing building and like jumps towards like a helicopter or something, and then he's hanging upside down from the helicopter shooting shit. Like that's the kind of stuff that happens in Die Hard movies now.
The funny thing about the two movies together is I kind of wanted to see Max Payne fuck up more, because he's supposed to be like this old alcoholic type of guy who's actually like, if you watch the game, then he's actually pretty bad at his job. I mean, everything,
He's really fucking bad.
All the stuff that happens is because he's a
protect.
Yeah, all the stuff that happens is because he's a fuck up, for the most part. So like when you had your clip where you run through the room and then you immediately try to bullet dodge, but you bullet dodge through a plate glass window and fall over and die.
Is that me?
That was your latest clip. That's up on YouTube.
I didn't see the clip.
Yeah,
but I'm sure that happened.
But it was so something that Max Payne would do in real life, because he's such a good of a fuck up. Or like the other clip is when you dive in the stadium part, you dive out of the elevator, and then you land head first onto the concrete stairs and die.
Yeah, it was pretty. Like I felt so badass doing it too, because I'm jumping over the stairs, and like as you're like the camera's moving with you, you can see like as you're flying over the stairs, you can see how high in the air you are, and I'm like, fuck yeah! And I'm like shooting dudes, and I'm like, wait a second, when I hit these stairs, it's gonna fucking hurt like a motherfucker.
If anyone in chat could put the links for those 2 clips up in chat for other people to see, that'd be great, because they're really entertaining to watch.
I had trouble with the diving mechanics, especially in the early part of the game. The 2 levels specifically, the skyscraper, and then the stadium after that.
By the way, fuck the stadium level in general. Fuck.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. My issue was that I would go into a dive, for example, on the skyscraper, and I would actually dive off the building.
I had that happen a couple times too. Where I would think I was doing something super awesome, and I was like, wait a second, I think I'm flying over the railing. There it goes.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
And then when
it sucks too, because like I feel like I get like 2 headshots in a row, and I'm like, fuck yeah, oh shit, and then I just fall to my death, and then it's like, oh, that was pointless. That cool shit I just didn't really happen because I had to restart.
Right.
And then when you're in the stadium and you got guys coming up the stands at you and you're at the top of it, I would leap off the top of it and go motherfuckers and just keep shooting them. I'd wipe them all out, and then I'd land at the bottom of the stand instead.
Yeah.
I would just get so fucked up.
I don't know why they put that stadium part so in the game at all, but so close to the beginning, because it doesn't allow you to do anything that you're supposed to be doing in that game. Like during the stadium parts, you don't have the room to bullet dodge because you're in these thin corridors surrounded by bleachers. So you end up, the only way I was able to get through some of those sections was to hunker down. I think I was in chat, Nick, when you were having trouble with it, and I said just stay in cover and let them come to you and just pick them off as they're coming, which is so inherently not Max Payne.
It's so like non-intuitive in a game like this. Yeah. Like you wanna jump and do bullet dive and all this shit, but it's like, and it's so hard to stop yourself from doing it. It's kind of like I get antsy when I'm behind cover and I'm like, I gotta fucking jump, I gotta jump.
Yeah.
I jump and I die.
It seems like, and this might be true, but maybe it needs to be more true. But it seems like when you're bullet dodging, it should be very hard for the enemies to hit you. Like that should be almost like maybe like 3 seconds of invincibility where you get to actually take control of the situation. Yeah. And it seems like a lot of times it doesn't, because you can't steer when you're bullet dodging. It's not like, it's almost better to like hit bullet time and try to dodge and shoot at the same time than to actually bullet dodge, because you just sometimes, a lot of times, just run into the flying bullets, whereas in bullet time you can actually see them coming and try to steer one way or another.
Yeah. So I know we got to cut for a break here in a second, but 2 things I want to ask. One thing I want to ask, first of all, does anyone really know what the purpose of finding the collectible gun parts was? Because when you collect all 3 of a piece, it turns the gun golden.
The gold guns are more powerful, I think.
Okay, so it just boosts the
they're
strength.
more powerful, and they actually carry over to the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll have the gold guns in the multiplayer.
I was like, oh, are these golden guns? Do they one-hit kills all the time? Second thing I wanted to say, lastly, I thought it was going to kind of grow on me, and there were certainly some really great moments in this game, like where you're walking through the favelas and it was like really detailed and super awesome. But like, even at the end of the game, I was kind of like, I really don't know why they had to move this game to Brazil. Like, I don't think it was a very, I don't like the choice.
Well, they wanted, I actually liked it. They wanted a different setting. They needed a setting where they could have multiple sort of like political, militaristic factions fighting against each other, so you have a wide range of enemies to fight instead of just one. And I mean, Brazil and South America is a place to find multiple militaristic factions fighting against each other.
I mean, thematically, it fits. It does fit. It's just
they wanted.
I thought it was going to be a play. I thought it was going to be like, I've heard people on other podcasts talking about how it's a very like diverse game where you go to a bunch of different places and everything. I didn't feel like there were like that happened. Like you go into flashbacks to New York.
You go to
everything in Brazil kind of looks the same.
I don't know. I think the favelas have a different look than the rich skyscraper areas. You go to Hoboken, New Jersey for a while. Someplace I lived for a couple of years, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, like, those are all flashbacks, and like those are all typical Max Payne.
Yeah, but I mean, you're still going there. I mean.
Yeah, but it's just like the moments when you're in Brazil, just they like especially when I play a Rockstar game. One of the first things I'm excited to hear about is like the location, because I love what they do with environments. Mm-hmm. They're fantastic. I loved the world of Red Dead's among my favorite ever. Mm-hmm. And then Vice City, amazing. San Andreas, amazing. Right. Even Liberty City in 4 was amazing. But I just don't feel like, I mean, they did a fantastic job in as far as the amount of detail they put into this world. Yeah. But it just didn't feel very diverse to me. Like once that like initial like, ooh, like this is really pretty, like once that sets in, like it's just kind of like it's all the same.
I mean, I think I'm thinking about, this game is probably more diverse than the other Max Paynes, which are you don't go to any diverse areas at all. It's all I mean, in the run of series of Max Payne games, this is the most diverse, and I think that's probably what people are referring to.
Yeah,
and I should also mention how good this game looks. I mean, this late in the console generation on an Xbox that has 16 megabytes of RAM or something like that, like 512 megabytes of RAM. This game looks fantastic.
So I mean, this is another example. There's a lot of examples nowadays, but like just another example of why I don't think I really care about a new generation of console. I'm still perfectly happy with the one we have.
No, I do, because I think how good this was. Like, what can we do with 7 times, 10 times the power?
But like, I don't want to like if they're gonna start moving to like all digital or DRM bullshit with the next series of consoles, like I would just rather stick with an Xbox. I'd rather do a deal with another Xbox 360 for another 5 years.
They're not going to go all digital next generation. That will never happen. Not yet.
I know it's not going to be all digital, but
not yet.
Like
we're a generation and a half away from that.
At least, yeah, that or two.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't even have the connectivity infrastructure in this country to support that sort of thing right now.
And in fact, I'm holding on to hope that never changes.
Yeah, listen. I agree with you.
I hope 50% of this country remains without internet.
Keep them on dial-up, the fucking southern bastards.
All right.
Personally, I like having my library of games that I can touch and feel and caress late at night and
occasionally jerk off on.
No, because I don't want to get them dirty.
Oh, I don't know. The CD hole's just right for you, I think.
Son of a bitch.
Yes.
Zynga! All right, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back in a few minutes, guys.
Cool.
Hey guys, we are back. Cocktail Time, 4playerpodcast.com. It's episode 5, I think. Oh, hold on, wait, gotta fix that. There we go. That's better.
Are we recording?
We're recording. We're back now.
Cool.
Yeah. So, we have to talk about DayZ, don't we?
Yes,
we should.
About that. Yeah. I don't know anything about
so
it.
So DayZ is a mod for Arma 2. Arma is Nick. Are you familiar with Operation Flashpoint?
Yes.
Okay. The guys from Operation Flashpoint used to be a bunch of developers at Codemasters.
Bohemia Interactive.
They created Bohemia Interactive, right, after leaving Codemasters? Is that how it goes?
The way I understand it is that, they left, but the Operation Flashpoint trademark and license stayed with Codemasters. Yeah. And so they gave it to a different team at Codemasters, and then Bohemia made their own version with Arma.
Right. Arma 2 came out, and it's really like this super high-end military simulation type of game.
So it's kind of like I remember Operation Flashpoint was very like simulator-esque. Like if you get shot in the leg, you're limping for quite a while. That kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, this one of the guys from Bohemia Interactive, by the name of Rocket, I think it is, Chris. He put together this mod called DayZ, which uses the Arma 2 engine. And basically the concept of it is that there's this huge island, 220-kilometer island or something like that.
It's the same island from Arma 2. It's the same locations, everything, just zombie apocalypse.
Exactly. So there's a certain amount of zombies in the world that are spawned, and there's a certain amount of bandits that spawn. The bandits are people, but they're like aggressive people. And then you spawn with other people, like the other players, and you basically have to survive. And you only get one life. If you die, you lose everything you gained, and you have to start all over again. You can save, but if you die, you're dead for good. And you have to eat, you have to drink, you have to you're just given a pistol and some ammo, and then you have to scrounge for everything. Now, the really cool thing about it is the fact that, you know, you're on this island with other players, and other players can kill you, or they can team up with you. If they're assholes, they'll kill you and take your stuff. If they're not, you know, they'll team up with you and you can help each other. It's almost like playing a video game version of The Road. Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah, that movie is fucked up.
So you will like see somebody across the way, and like that's a player. They haven't shot at me yet, and you'll start to creep up on them, and you'll start to creep up on each other and sort of feel each other out to make sure it's okay. And then maybe somebody will put like something down as a gift, like no, it's cool, you know. And then you can go off together and try to do stuff. And you can like find like things to repair vehicles and repair helicopters. I've seen people doing like I've seen groups where they'll have 4 guys and they were able to repair a helicopter, and they're doing helicopter raids on like broken down stores to look for supplies. And it's almost like something out of the movie Day of the Dead, when they take the helicopter down looking for survivors. Like, hello, hello. It's almost like that.
So this is an open world zombie game?
It's an open world zombie.
Very much so.
Pretty much an open world zombie MMO.
Oh wow.
Where you only have one life.
I want that, but not a mod. Like I want like a game built from the ground up for that.
See, and this is the main problem. Right now the game is in alpha, so there's a lot of issues with it. It's basically barely working, but it's as good as it is, just barely working, and people are loving it. It reminds me a lot of Spy Party. How Spy Party was super alpha, but already it's like amazing. It's like that, you know. But my issue with my big issue with DayZ is the fact that it's on the Arma 2 engine, and it's kind of a really shitty engine. You know, it's not user friendly. It's really jittery. It's hard to move around. Like when you're moving around in the Arma 2 engine, it always feels like you're wrapped up in duct tape and you're forcing every step. And I want like someone to give this guy and whoever else is working with him a truckload of money and the Just Cause 2 engine.
Holy crap! Is that the world map you just linked?
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And there's zombies everywhere?
Okay. There is, well, with this latest patch, 1.5.7, he upped the zombie count tremendously. So previously there was like a couple hundred zombies. Now I have not seen a server with anything less than about 700 per map.
Yeah.
So, is it as far as size goes for this? Is there a game you could compare it to? It's kind of hard to tell just from looking at a map, but it looks enormous.
And Chris, can you put that link in the chat as well? Are you able to do that?
Yeah.
If you can do that, that'd be great.
I would compare it honestly to about Just Cause 2.
Wow. Yeah. So you said that at first there was like 100 zombies, because like zombie apocalypse is great. Like especially like playing something like Left 4 Dead, they're constantly running at you and they're everywhere, or even Undead Nightmare. Like it's really cool, but like there's something really creepy about the fact like being in a huge world like that and knowing there's only like there's not zombies everywhere. At any point you could run into one.
In this game, it's sort of like that because zombies are a lot of times censored around towns. So you'll be okay in the countryside for the most part, but eventually you're going to get hungry and you're out of food. So now you need to go into town to find food. So you start creeping up, and you can creep. So there's stealth meters, so you can creep or go prone or travel prone. So you'll make less noise or less or be less visual. So the more you creep around, the less the zombies will see you. And so you'll come up on a town, and you're fucking hungry, and your little hunger meter's going up. You're like, oh shit, I just need to find a can of baked beans or something, or try to find a dead body that I could loot. And you have to creep up on the town. You have to use your zoom in. You'll see the zombies. You have to kind of sneak in beyond the zombies. And if you get seen, or if you shoot, all the zombies will hear you, and they'll all start coming after you.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm amazed that experience hasn't been there hasn't been a game made yet.
Because
built around that experience.
You know what it is? It's the fact that the zombie thing almost went super saturated before somebody could build it. And I know, especially Chris Davis hates this game, but Dead Island came close to that, creating that sort of open world zombie experience. But not entirely. It didn't have this, which is this. It's pure zombie. It's actually one of the purest horror survival experiences I've ever had. Wow. Because it truly is survival,
It really is.
Yeah, and like I said, the other players are not necessarily your friends. They could try to kill you for your stuff.
Now, how are the zombies just pretty standard zombie fare, or are they like is there something special, but like anything super intimidating
They're
about them, or
they're the Dawn of the Dead zombies.
so
they're
run?
fucking fast and they beat the shit out of you.
Yeah. And if you get hit once, you start bleeding. So you have to use bandages to stop the bleeding. You only have a certain amount of blood. If you bleed out too much, you'll die. You can break a bone. If you break a bone, you can only go prone and crawl around. You could take morphine so you can walk again. It's pretty involved.
That's pretty
it is.
There were guys, like there's videos of guys who were able to repair a bus, and they were doing bus tours around an island on one server where people would just get on the
party bus.
The party bus. And they would just
We were talking about that last
We were talking about it last cocktail time where they do the party bus and stuff. So
That's awesome.
We talked about it last week. I don't think I hadn't played the game yet, so this is my first time talking about it.
The thing is, like this experience, this sounds like it would be even awesome as like a single player experience. Just a huge open world zombie survival game, or single player, or even just like a co-op game.
It's
like
really
where you have a partner.
That's kind of with the co-op. I mean, it's all about the co-op. It's all about, you know, the zombies and the AI bandits are all good, but it's really about the interactions you have with the other players and not knowing if you can trust them or not.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Joseph, but you're wrong in that fact. There are no AI bandits. They're all players in the game.
Are you sure? I thought bandits were AI.
No, the way the game works is that you spawn on the beach of Chernobyl or Chernobylsk or whatever you call it, and you're labeled as a survivor.
Right.
And if you kill another human, depending on the circumstance, if you only kill like one human and they've fired upon you, you get status of a civilian or something like that, whatever. Okay. But if you keep preying on other players, you become a bandit.
Oh, really?
Like you become labeled as a bandit.
There's a morality system, and it changes the way your character looks.
Oh.
So that's the way it works.
Oh, see, someone told me bandits were AI, was game AI. I didn't know that was you could become a bandit yourself.
Well, you should murder that
only
person.
AI
I should have murdered that person.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool, though. That's really unique.
That's even cooler than I thought it was.
So you've got the map open, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let me paint a picture. This is about 4.5, 5 hours of me playing.
Okay.
So I start out at the bottom of the map, halfway between Chernovsk and Elektrovatovsk. Okay?
Okay.
Where that cap glove is. In 4.5 hours, I only saw one person in the game, and we traveled to Pusta, the town of Pusta, okay?
Okay.
We parted ways there. I went to Mogilevka, and there was a large zombie population there, so I found a place to hide, and I stayed and quit out for a while. I came back. I found a sniper rifle and a revolver and a fucking crossbow somewhere in Mogilevka, and then I quit out this evening at Vishnoye to the north. I believe that's northwest or
northwest, yeah.
Northwest, without any crossbow bolts, running low on ammo, no food, and one water bottle.
Yeah. That's cool.
I mean, this game is fucking intense.
Yeah, and you're like I said, your character is persistent until you die.
Absolutely.
Until you're dead, and it's persistent across servers. So if you go to a different server, you will come back with all of your gear in the same spot.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Yeah.
God, I want to play this. I want to play this.
Now, be warned. It is not user friendly. It is an alpha.
Yeah.
It's not user friendly. It's complicated. The inventory stuff system is extremely convoluted. But if you can get past the high barrier to entry, it's really fantastic. It's really great.
It's got a wonderful sense of isolation to it. I mean, you're wandering for hours through these forests and trying to avoid all these towns where the zombies are. You know they're there.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at a screenshot right now, and like the look of the world reminds me of the. It reminds me a lot of a cross between like The Walking Dead and Call of Duty 4, the all gillied up level. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, about
like it's very like the colors like it's a lot of browns and greens, but they're all toned down like really soft. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Very cool atmosphere.
The engine is a pretty engine if you have the computer to run it, but it takes a pretty monster computer to run the Arma 2 engine on full and not be choppy as crap, you know. So hopefully
something like this gets made for console.
Well, I'm hoping it's really going to help the developer because they said that the sales of Arma 2 have gone up 500% in the past month since DayZ's become popular. And like I said, the guy who's making this mod works for Bohemia Interactive, and I believe they're going to sort of take that project and sort of interweave it into their Arma development. You know, possibly Arma 3 will have a DayZ, you know, extension to it.
Yeah.
You know, and then with these additional funds, they can fucking fix their fucking crappy engine.
I think it's cool that this kind of, to me at least, it kind of tells me that, you know, a lot of people say the zombie thing is kind of done. It's overdone.
It's not overdone. It just hasn't been done well in a while.
Like the thing is, I do think Dead Island came close. I had an experience in Dead Island, and if anyone remembers back when we were talking about that when it first came out, there was an experience I had in that game that I had never had in any other game, and that was that moment where I had to venture out from the church and go all the way into the middle of town for a mission, and then get all the way back to the church, and like, it was the most like terrifying zombie experience I've ever had, because I was like running along rooftops and like being really careful about where I was terrified to like jump down into an alleyway to try and make it across the street, because I couldn't tell. I could hear zombies, but I couldn't tell where they were, and some of them were fast, and like. It was terrifying.
And Dead Island did a lot of good stuff. A lot of stuff good.
Yeah, it's a shame that it was kind of borked. And honestly, I really did like the atmosphere in that game. Like, I thought it was really cool how it was really a beautiful island, but it was also very quiet and very foreboding, just because you know there's zombies everywhere. But like, super cool atmosphere, just kind of borked technically and mechanically was not the most user-friendly.
You know what I want to see? I want to see a zombie version of NBA Baller Beats, where you're actually battling against dead basketball stars.
That would be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
Just
throwing it out there. Continue.
Let's just make zombie everything.
There's zombie porn. There is that. I've seen that.
Ooh, no. No, thank you.
Have you ever seen the Exorcist? By any chance?
No. I have not seen that.
I don't think
I want to, because all I can picture is like the girl's head turning around, and I know that's in there somewhere.
That does happen, like at one point.
Yeah, I don't.
There's a lot of sex and green slime. It's almost like it becomes like a you can't do that on television porno after a while.
Somebody in Lost King in chat said, "How about Left 4 Head?"
There is Left 4 Head. Yeah, that's true. That does exist. That does exist.
I have a feeling there's probably one that's entitled "The Orgasm of Emily Rose."
That was awesome. You know what? Okay, so I'll be totally honest. I once saw this in a porno store.
One time I went into
Henderson go into a porn store.
One time I went into a porno store.
So I saw this once in a porno store. Somebody actually made a parody. I don't even know why they needed a parody this. They made a parody of the Human Centipede called the Human Sexipede. And it was like...
But it's already like about... That movie's all about rim jobs anyway, so what's...
It's exactly... It's already porn in the worst kind of way.
It's already porn, yeah. They don't have to...
Rule 34.
What's Rule 34?
If it exists, there's porn of it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
That is also true.
Well, I don't know, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood?
Oh.
I'm certain. I'm
certain somewhere.
Do you think there's a Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood porn? He goes to the closet and he takes off his jacket, but he never puts on a sweater. He just keeps on taking it off and taking it off.
Hello, neighbor.
Then he calls the king and queen on his little trolley.
My God.
King says he's seen Mr. Rogers' porn.
Really? I'm gonna look for that. That reminds me of the tip of the website I bought. It's Mr. Wizard fucking carrottop.com. And I want it to be all like badly photoshopped pictures of gay sex with Mr. Wizard and Carrot Top's faces on top of the people. And like it'd be the whole point of it is that it's kind of ridiculous. And so they'd be like, you know, Mr. Wizard, you know, fucking Carrot Top, and then the caption will be Mr. Wizard calls this experiment fucking Carrot Top in the ass.
Oh my God.
And there could be the one.
Wait, did you really buy that .com?
Yeah, I did. I bought it. Mr. Wizard fucking carrottop.com. And there's one where maybe like Carrot Top is fucking Mr. Wizard with a big butt plug, and it's like, oh, Carrot Top and his props.
Oh. So there we go again, Joseph, with the so very clearly straight, but somehow still talking about Carrot Top, Mr. Wizard.
I don't know what this. What.
My God. Okay.
So we went from zombies to porn to Carrot Top, fucking Mr. Wizard.
Yes. It's a pretty beautiful transition.
So back to DayZ. So if you're looking for the sort of the zombie MMO we've always kind of wanted, or that sort of, you know, huge like MMO survival horror experience. I mean, this is really it.
Yeah.
And it's almost, you know what it is. And I'm actually working on an article about this in my head, but I'm going to start probably writing it tomorrow. But it has that. It's almost like the Minecraft effect. You know, like, let's not give players a real story. Let's give them a situation, give them a whole world, and give them the tools to create, and let's see what they do. You know, and Minecraft is that. DayZ is that, because you find a car, but it's broken down, so you have to find parts for the car. You put certain parts of the car together, and you can make the car work. Same thing with helicopters and machine guns and some weapons. You know, it has this sort of building aspect that's very Minecrafty. You know, in this open world, and then cooperatively with other people. So it's that, and I almost feel like that's going to be the new model for MMOs, not the fucking World of Warcraft model where it's the carrot on the stick and get better gear and follow this pretty linear storyline. It's an open world, but you're following this pretty linear storyline to get all this stuff and get better stuff and get better stuff. That's pretty much just handed to you after beating a boss. It's going to be about, you know, put players in a situation, give them the tools they need to create, and let's see what they create out of those tools, or with those tools out of that world. And I think that's the new MMO model that's gonna take root. You know.
So, yeah, that's true. I'm kind of surprised at how little there is in the way of zombie games coming out this year, outside of like some of the smaller ones that we talked about, Project Zomboid a few weeks ago on the show, and now DayZ. But like,
Deadlight.
And oh yeah, Deadlight's coming out. I'm really excited for that too. Yeah. But they're all they're smaller games. They're games that aren't available through traditional we'll just say traditional methods of purchase. Mm-hmm. But the next big zombie game experience that I'm looking forward to this year is coming out this year is The Last of Us, which
I don't know if I count that as a zombie game, but
yeah, me either.
The thing is, they're not positioning it as, like, it's weird because that first trailer that Naughty Dog released made it seem like a very zombie-esque game.
What about Lollipop Chainsaw?
That's not I guess you can, but that's not like a zombie game in the city.
It's not a zombie game. That's a Juliet game, for Christ's sake.
That's all about the cheerleader.
That's a platinum title that just happens to have zombies.
Yeah, she could be fighting, you know, giant werecats, and we wouldn't care.
Resident Evil 6 is coming out. Thank you, Green Dan and chat, for mentioning that. I almost forgot about that. I mean, that's kind of. I mean, I'm excited about it, but you know,
Resident Evil's not about zombies either.
Oh well, this one is actually going back to feature zombies. The thing is, I'm keeping my excitement for Resident Evil 6 tempered until I played it because of 5. Mm-hmm. But you know, it's weird because that first Last of Us trailer made it seem like a zombie game because of the whole fungus creature thing. They're not traditional zombies. They're like people that have been infected with this fungus.
The funny thing is, though, that the fungus thing is I mean, if you're looking at it scientifically, that's more like apt to happen than zombies.
That's way more plausible than zombies.
Which makes it terrifying.
No, in fact, that fungus stuff that they're basing it on exists.
Oh, I know.
It happens to ants, I think.
Yeah, it's ants, and it causes them to lose their minds. They crawl up to a high spot, and then they die, and it grows out of their brain.
And okay. So Lost King and Shaq mentioned it. They're called cordyceps. And that's the science. That's what they're basing The Last of Us off of, and that's why I'm excited about it, because not only is it not a traditional zombie game, but what they're really pushing right now, like some of the demos they've been showing, especially because it's E3 judging week, and they've been showing a lot of The Last of Us to some of the bigger sites stuff in preparation for E3. Mm-hmm. They're focusing a lot on the human aspect of a zombie apocalypse. Like it's kind of like The Walking Dead. Is like what's like the real terrifying part of the zombie apocalypse is how it affects people. Mm-hmm. But they haven't really shown any of the zombie stuff yet. Like, they haven't shown any of the monsters. But, like, that's kind of what's on the back of everyone's mind, because, like, that's how they started promoting this game. And, like, the fungus thing is...
But I mean, that's
super interesting.
But a lot of ways, like the actual when you're dealing with end of world situations, no matter what the end of world situation is, the interactions between the people who are left is kind of really the interesting story. I mean, you know how the zombies are going to react, you know how the fungi are going to react. It's how people are going to react to each other that I think make for the best stories. And maybe I mentioned this last week, but it's why Day of the Dead is my favorite zombie movie ever made. Because George Romero took the focus off the zombies and put it on the people and how they reacted to each other and how they got along. And it made for, I think, in my personal opinion, probably his best movie.
Okay, so here's two things. First of all, Joseph, you need to play Uncharted, because you don't even... Like, the reason that people, like, shit their pants when they saw the Naughty Dog logo appear on the screen when they were showing the Last of Us trailer is because they realized they were about to get a zombie game made by the guys who did Uncharted.
Right.
And that's fucking amazing. Second of all, sounds like you need to watch The Walking Dead.
I have not seen The Walking Dead. Because
The Walking Dead is all about the people.
I don't have cable.
I have the first season. I'll bring it to PAX Prime if you haven't watched it by then.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Actually, we could watch the entire...
Amazon.
We could watch the entire first season while we're in Seattle, because it's only 6 episodes.
Because we have nothing to do.
Well,
during PAX.
Maybe we'll stay.
We have so much free time during PAX.
I will stay in Seattle for an extra day to watch The Walking Dead with you.
You better cuddle.
Alright, maybe I won't.
Damn it! Missed my chance.
I'll just let you borrow it, and you can mail it back to me when you're done.
Okay.
No, better yet, just spend $10 and download it off Amazon. The entire first season, $10.
How much is it to buy just to keep?
It's yours to keep.
Oh, really?
It's just a digital version.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll do that.
It's fairly simple to get your hand on the first season, at least. The second season was amazing. First season's really good. I think it does a really good job of setting up the second season. But if you like zombies movies or stories in which the people are the focus, it doesn't get better than The Walking Dead. Okay. It's amazing.
Oh, I'll check it out. Yeah. I think I'm disturbing Ninja Kitty Cat in chat for some reason. I think the image of me and Nick cuddling has turned her off. I don't know.
Or turned her on. Or what if Ninja Kitty Cat is not a girl?
Does it matter?
We actually cuddled at E3 last year. You ran and jumped in my bed at one point, if I recall.
How much alcohol was in your system?
No, we were in the same bed during E3.
Oh, did we sleep together?
Yes. we slept together at E3. Not like slept together, but I mean we were in, in the biblical sense. But we were in the same bed.
In the biblical sense.
You need a shovel, man, because you can't dig your grave any faster than when.
No, this is cocktail time. This is for digging holes and not getting out of
How could you not remember sleeping with me? I'm insulted.
I got to sleep in the bed most nights, and then I alternated. I think I slept with Nolan too.
we passed you around.
I don't know. I was all excited about E3. I was like, I need someone to cuddle with.
Yeah, it's a very exciting time.
That's what you have to look forward to this year, Chris.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Oh, that's right. Chris is with us this year, isn't he?
You're gonna be. We're alternating the bed. I get the bed every night. It's just we alternate people out. They get to sleep with me.
I'll bring a sleeping bag. A one-person sleeping bag.
Nick is small.
That. Oh man, that was great.
You can fit spoons anywhere.
Oh, what? What is? What is wrong with you?
It's Joseph.
It was a joke about it was a joke about spooning and not about shoving spoons up your urethra or something. I don't know.
Oh, what the? Oh, that reminds me of that first year at E3 or
Kids in a Sandbox.
No, that was PAX when we watched
Kids in a Sandbox.
Yeah, that was when I first saw Kids in a Sandbox. No, that was one of the funniest things I've ever done. We were all sitting in your living room at PAX. And I don't know why we watched Mr. Hands.
So this is a funny story. So I had never met these guys before, and the way so maybe some people don't know this story. But I was a viewer, a chatter, so to speak. I didn't chat very much, but I used to watch these guys. And I remember watching a podcast once, and David and then we're like, well, we want to come to PAX, but we have nowhere to go or stay, so if anyone can, we can stay with anybody, let us know. And at the time, I lived 1 block away from the convention center. So I immediately write David, and I say, hey, David, this is Joseph, I live a block from the convention center. You guys can stay with me. I am not a crackpot, type of thing.
Didn't you send a picture?
No, I sent my Facebook. And,
that was a bad idea.
And then he looked up and he saw the pictures of me in my underwear covered in fake blood and thought it'd be perfectly fine. Which is fine, which is good, because it's like a filter. If you guys stopped there, I knew we wouldn't be able to get along.
I think I remember Brad going, we gotta stay with this guy. And I was like, why? And he's like, look at this picture. It was pretty awesome.
And then you guys get in, and you walk into my apartment. I remember the first thing, I had like pictures of like slaves being beaten or something in my gas, and Brad was looking at you going, hey, look, there's all fucked up shit here, you should like it.
He was like, you should feel right at home, there's fucked up shit everywhere.
So you guys put your stuff down, and it's like we just met, and I'm sitting at my computer, and I'm like, hey, wanna watch a guy get fucked by a horse? And Nick was like, yeah, I want to see that. And I'm like, yeah, this happened right nearby. And I put it on, and I have this video. There's a guy outside of Seattle in a place called Enumclaw who no one had ever even heard of until this happened. And he was doing something called animal tourism, which was a farm. There's a whole fucking farm, and a goddamn entire farm dedicated to animal tourism, which is people would go and they'd want to fuck a chicken. They go, oh, well, we have chickens, come right in. And like, I want to fuck a boar on Sunday under a full moon. They're like, well, we can schedule you in. There you are. So people would like go to this place just to fuck animals. Like how like businessmen will go to the Philippines to fuck little boys. This is where rednecks go to fuck cows. It's like the same thing. and so this guy goes and is like, I want to get fucked by a horse because this sounds like a perfectly natural and good idea and a good thing to do.
Oh, God.
I mean, here's the thing. I can almost understand fucking a horse, because it doesn't sound...
I can't.
Almost.
Almost.
Understand.
Not completely, but I mean, I understand that, maybe the danger is they'll kick you, so you get 2 other guys to hold down his hooves. But for the most part, you're going to be...
Two guys to hold down a horse's hooves.
Well, 1 guy for each hoof, right?
I'm pretty sure a horse could kick off people holding hooves.
Okay, you chain down the horse. You tie the horse down. It was so you have a gimp horse with a mask and they already have the bit in their mouth, so they're halfway there anyway. So I can you fuck the horse, and the horse. I mean, it's like giving a whale a Tic Tac. He doesn't even know you're there.
But readers, you have to understand, if you've ever actually seen a horse out to strut, it's probably one of the most terrifyingly bizarre things you've ever seen in your life.
Wait. Let me rephrase. We're not wording this properly because you keep saying this guy fucked a horse.
No.
That is not exactly what happened.
No, I'm saying I would understand if he fucked the horse.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
because
you're about to rectify
the horse
situation then.
wouldn't even know it. But the fact is that he didn't fuck the horse. He wanted the horse to fuck him. I mean, that's like who's that giant black porno guy with the giant dick who screams when he comes? He's like, what's his name? Not Lee Harvey Oswald. That's somebody else. His name is Lee somebody. I forget. But it's like him fucking a midget. It's not gonna work. You're gonna do horrible damage to that poor midget lady. It's a white guy who probably never took a dump bigger than a potato, and he's gonna fucking get fucked by a giant horse cock. Lexicon Steel, yeah, thank you, chat. Our chat comes through. Lexicon Steel. Thank you to chat. Thank you, Dano25655. He knows his black cock. Anyway, I mean, and so what happens? The guy gets fucked by a horse, and it rips apart his colon and his lower intestine.
Oh God!
And
he dies.
He did die. Yeah, they had to take him to the hospital.
That's shitty
No,
way
the thing
to
is,
die.
okay, so here's the weird thing. I read the story. I read the news story about this incident, and they apparently made a documentary about it, which is really weird. The documentary, I think, is called Animal.
Yeah.
No,
is it called Animal House? Oh no, that's the other movie.
No, it's just that's an entirely different thing.
That's a different movie altogether.
The shitty thing is...
Oh, the movie's called Zoo. The movie's called Zoo.
Oh, Zoo. That's right.
Once again, chat came through. This is our audience. This is our audience here.
The weird fucking thing. So not only did he have friends that like, oh yeah, we'll go along and help you with
we'll
this.
give you a ride.
We'll give you a ride here, and then we'll help the horse insert himself.
Right.
Kind of thing, which is really weird by itself. When it happened, they drive him to the hospital, and they just dump him out in front and drive away.
How are you gonna explain that though?
So they're good enough friends to help their friend who really wants to fuck a horse get fucked by a horse.
Right.
But then they're like, oh, fuck him. His colon is fucked.
More than that.
It can only get better if it was a windowless white van they tossed him out of.
But that's gotta be an awkward drive to the hospital afterward. You know? Like, they're trying to get their story straight. Like, what are we gonna tell the nurse? Well, maybe we'll say that one of us is gay, and we got an accident with him. It's like, and then they have to decide, like, well, who's gonna be the gay one? And they kind of did, like, they did, like, the paper, rock, scissors, and they're like, no, that's not good enough, because no one's gonna believe that we have the equipment to do that. You can't fall down. Maybe he fell down the stairs onto a giant cucumber.
No, he fell on the banister.
He fell on the banister. He was trying to put in a ceiling fan, and he fell on the bed banister, ass first.
So, like, it's a disturbing story all around. But that was one of our first experiences with Joseph.
Yeah. So I was like, hey, let's watch this, and it's on video. You guys can watch it. That's the fucking crazy thing about the internet. Like, it used to be 10 years ago. Oh, some guy.
Someone tells you this story.
But and you're like, you hear about it in like homeroom. And it's like, oh, that didn't happen. And it becomes like an old wives' tale. Now it's like, I have the video of the guy getting fucked by the. And then remember the noises he was making? He's like, ooh. Remember those?
No, you did it all wrong. It's.
No, he was making really weird noises.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I remember he was wearing Keds, maybe for traction.
I remember the story specifically because we were all like, I was watching this through like with my hand over my eyes, like looking through I was like, oh my god, no. But the best part was David refused to look at the screen, but he was hearing it, and he was just like he couldn't stop himself from laughing.
Yeah.
Which just made us laugh even more.
And I think Brad ran out of the room. He would not.
Yeah, Brad was like, I gotta get out of here.
Brad would not. It's terrible.
And the rest is history.
And that's how I joined 4-Player Podcast.
So, that's how we haze our new guys.
If you're wondering how to get involved, that's the introduction. Introduction like that usually helps. Wets our whistles.
Wets our whistles. So yeah, so that's that. So, what do you say we move on to something
not animal and not bestiality related?
Let's talk about some video games, or maybe E3 predictions or something.
Is there any news we need to talk about? Oh, here's something we can talk about really quick. Have you guys seen the Far Cry trailer that was released this weekend?
I watched it today.
Are you as disappointed in it as I am? I'm seeing a lot of scripted stuff.
Like, the thing is that, but that's for a specific like story sequence. Like, I don't think that's indicative of the game itself, because everything else they've shown has been super open.
No, but how do we know that, though? We've seen small areas with firefights and stuff. We haven't seen him just get in a car and start driving to nowhere. You know, we haven't seen a lot of like live gameplay like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's been what they've been showing. I mean, because of the way they have to show the game, they've been showing particular areas, but in interviews they've alluded to the openness. Like, the openness is still there. It's still an island open to explore.
Yeah, I'm really hoping so, because they show sequences like they showed today in the trailer, and it leads me to like it's kind of every action trope that I've seen. Oh, there's fire everywhere. Oh, you know, it just. I wasn't very impressed. I thought it was
cool.
And then at the very end, when he's like, "You drive," and he gets into the back, which you know is going to lead to a chase turret sequence type of thing.
Yeah. So,
you know,
that kind of sucks. I think it looks cool. The most jarring thing to me about it was the lack of reaction from the character you're playing as like, this place is burning down around him, and like he's just like in a lot of games when stuff like this is happening, even if it's first person, like there's a lot of like he'll put his hands in front of his face, like shield his face from the fire and stuff like that. But like this was very like the gun. He was like reacting, like his voice was sounding like like it was well voice acted. He was reacting to what was going on around him, but his hand where it's holding the gun that you can always see on screen was just kind of like as if nothing was happening. Like there was no there's no physical reaction.
Like I'm just gonna stick my gun with these bullets into this fire here. This will be perfectly fine.
That I think that I'm hoping they'll tweak that kind of stuff.
They probably will.
The thing I think this is just another case of them choosing weird things to show instead of showing what people really care about.
Yeah, I mean I love the other stuff they showed with the doctor. Like, the doctor is like already like one of my favorite characters in that game.
Yeah, and then did you see this? There was a big demonstration, I guess, when they're on like a shipwreck, like a boat, like it's crashed in the middle of a harbor or something.
I don't think I saw that.
They showed like 3 or 4 different ways to approach the situation. It was all pretty open.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good.
But I mean, it still didn't show him like get into the car. It showed him like driving and then he arrived at this area where this giant shipwreck was. But the video started with him driving in, and he drives for like 30 seconds, and then he arrives, and then it goes into this cutscene thing. So it alluded to, before that, he was driving around exploring this open world, and then he drives up and gets out of his car and looks at this giant shipwreck, and then proceeds to go into this really crazy firefight. But they showed like 3 or 4 different ways to attack it.
Well, that's good.
So that was pretty cool.
That makes me feel better about it.
I'm like Far Cry is still like probably in my top 5 most anticipated games of the year.
Yeah.
I think it looks amazing.
Possibly playable at E3 is what I'm hearing.
I think it has to be. I have a feeling that it'll be a multiplayer demo.
Oh, I hope
multiplayer,
not.
probably maybe a couple segments of the single player, but
we'll see.
I couldn't be more disinterested in the single player and the multiplayer of that game.
Yeah. I completely agree. Which
I don't know. It looks kind of interesting.
yeah, it's Call of Duty.
Yeah. It looks like Brink.
Call of Duty with fucking zip lines and...
It looks like Brink, and
I don't know.
don't get me started on Brink.
No, like if they wanted to do a really awesome Far Cry multiplayer, it should have been. I think we had this conversation. I think this is Brad who brought this up. It should have been something where it's like a survival game, and there's people dropped into random parts of the island, and it's just
like the Hunger Games, games.
Yeah, like the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Where you're just like you have the open world, and the goal is to hunt down the other people. Like that sounds infinitely more interesting than just another, first-person map-based shooter.
Yeah, with take the flag and take these areas and call down an airstrike because you're a island person with an AK-47 that you stole from an old World War II shipment, so you can obviously call down an airstrike.
So I mean, I'm pretty disinterested in the multiplayer, but I'm hoping that's not the focus of what they're going to be showing us at E3.
Well, they're talking about a multiplayer beta starting up.
Yeah, and that's going to be...
That it upsets me because I don't think they should be putting as much focus on the multiplayer that it should require a beta. Like just,
But that's packaged with the Ghost Recon, right? Ghost Recon Future Soldier, which comes out next week.
Yes, if you get Ghost Recon Future Soldier, you get an invite to the beta of Far Cry 3. Multiplayer.
Which I'm not super interested in, but whatever. I think Far Cry still looks really good.
Yeah.
Another news topic, which we kind of mentioned at the beginning of the show, was the rumored cancellation of Brothers in Arms Furious 4.
Yes.
Which is one of my favorite surprises of E3 last year. I thought it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, there were some trademarks that Ubisoft had filed right before or after the announcement of Furious 4. I don't have the list in front of me, so I don't know what the exact trademarks are, but I think they were like Brothers in Arms, Furious 4, or whatever. It's like basically the trademarks for the title of the game, but apparently Ubisoft let them expire.
Oh, I see.
So that's I think where the rumor began. But I think as of yesterday, I can't remember who commented on it. It may have been Randy Pitchford, but I'm not sure. Someone at Gearbox commented to say that this is not to indicate that they have canceled Furious 4.
But is the trademark still expired?
The trademark, I think, is still expired. Here's my guess, because there's been a lot of people that have asked them about the future of Brothers in Arms. I think, Chris, you said you asked Randy last time about the future, and you weren't exactly excited about the direction they were taking the series. My guess, I have two predictions or two guesses. I think it's either going to be they're changing the name, and by changing the name, I mean to say they're dropping Brothers in Arms out of the title and just going to call it Furious 4. Or they're letting it slip into kind of a whatever you would call what Aliens Colonial Marines was in for a while, in which case they're not focusing on it. They're moving all their focus to finishing Aliens and Borderlands 2 and whatever else they're working on.
But there's no reason to let the trademark lapse. So it almost makes you think they're retooling the title.
Yeah, I think it's way more likely that they are changing the title, or in my opinion, probably dropping Brothers in Arms out of the title completely. Because I think kind of like Prey 2, I think calling it Prey, or in this case calling it Brothers in Arms, is a disservice to...
They might have been getting so many questions about why is this a Brothers in Arms game? It's something completely different. And actually, this could be good news. This could be called, this could be a Furious 4 game. And now they've decided to hold the Brothers in Arms games for a proper Brothers in Arms game. That squad-based tactical thing.
I mean, when we saw it at E3 last year, let's not be coy, this is a new IP.
Yeah, no, it is. It's not Brothers in Arms. It is not
at all
Brothers in Arms.
But it was also really cool looking.
They might have realized that. And they want to save that for a future project. This could be a very positive move.
Yeah, so unless, of course, it's canceled. In which case, very upset. In fact, I tweeted the other night, I said, if this actually turns out to be canceled, I quit.
What are you going to quit? Quit what?
Games.
You would never do that.
First Prey 2 and then this.
You would never do that. We don't know about Prey 2 yet.
Prey 2's been delayed.
To like.
Oh, I know it's been delayed. I know it's been delayed, but I'm really nervous about what's gonna happen when we find out why.
Because there probably wasn't much to it yet. I think what we saw at E3, was a very limited. I think literally what we saw is all that existed.
It's quite possible, but I bet they are switching developers. I bet when we see Prey 2 again, it won't be Human Head. I think it'll be someone else, and it might even look completely different.
That's not unreasonable to suggest, given the rumored contractual, problems they've had.
And not to mention now Human Head is talking a lot about making it a sequel to Rune.
Rune? What is Rune?
Well, they've been teasing that for years, though.
Yeah,
Nick, I can't see your mouth. There you go.
Sorry.
There you go. Much better.
Can you see it?
I see you now.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your mouth.
I'll screenshot that for later.
It'll be knew I had to make for a cocktail.
I had to make a comment about that.
I'll stop. So, I don't know. I really liked what I saw of Furious 4 last year. In fact, I've actually been calling it Furious 4. I haven't been calling it Brothers in Arms.
I think that's been happening a lot.
I've never played a Brothers in Arms game, but it's never been my thing. It's never been really gotten my attention. But Furious 4 got my attention in a big way last year. Maybe it was the beer they were giving us at the demo.
The beer does help. It did certainly help. I was actually a big Brothers in Arms fan. I love the squad-based tactical stuff, and Chris and I talked about this last podcast, so we don't have to get into it. But I like the Furious 4. I like what they're going with it. It's here's the thing. I like what they're going with it. It's kind of interesting and cool and fun and quirky, but it's sort of the 4-player quirky co-op thing is it's been done a lot,
But it's also been done really well by Gearbox.
But it almost seemed like the humor and fun and co-op characteristics of Borderlands given a different skin and less guns.
That's fair.
And I think we've seen a lot of that, but we haven't seen another game like Brothers in Arms come out in a very long time.
The thing is, Furious 4 seems more like, instead of built around just the idea of co-op, it's built around the idea of... it kind of reminds me of what the focus was for Bulletstorm, where it's all about killing people in the most interesting ways you can find.
I didn't see people being killed in interesting ways. I just saw an interesting, presentation of people being killed. It wasn't like Bulletstorm where you're using environmental aspects.
Yeah. It doesn't go nearly as far as Bulletstorm goes. But I remember them talking about something about using hatchets and.
Well, because that was their melee weapons. Melee. Their melee weapons were interesting, but it was about Furious 4 was all about presentation.
Yeah.
And you have to remember, I mean, what they showed off, that was a cinematic trailer. That wasn't actual gameplay.
No, but
so we really have no idea what we're looking at.
No. We went to the. They had a gameplay demo.
I saw gameplay.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, I saw gameplay.
Yeah, there was a behind closed doors demonstration last year, and they were giving out German beer.
Yeah, I
okay.
definitely saw gameplay.
Yeah, we got to see this entire. They go bursting into this. It was very much like Inglourious Basterds, where they burst into the bar and start killing everybody, and then they jump into a jeep and they go driving through this like carnival, and they're blowing shit up at the carnival. Has this not been on the internet yet?
No.
I guess no, it hasn't. We have.
Oh my God! People haven't even seen this game.
People have not seen this game yet.
What you guys are to Furious 4, I am to Dishonored. So
yeah, like I loved their they had this British guy who did the voiceover through the whole thing, and he was hilarious. It's like, you know, they decided to go and hit the runway head on, and like they go through, and I'm sort of ad-libbing or paraphrasing here. But they go through the gate, and there's this giant Zeppelin, all these giant guns, and like the British guy is, this turned out to be a very poor idea. And it's like, and they have to go through. It was like that kind of humor. It was very cool. It was very good, and it was a type of humor that Gearbox does very, very well. I mean, they have some very good writers that are very witty and do that sort of Monty Python-esque humor thing, like that self-aware Monty Python humor-esque thing very well. But as I say that, excellent concept, great presentation. Not a Brothers in Arms game.
Yes, exactly. Which is why my theory remains that I think they're changing the name.
No, I agree.
And I'm hoping it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping if they're changing the name, they don't drop Furious 4, because I think that actually sounds like a really cool name for a game.
I think just Furious 4 is good.
Yeah, just call it Furious 4, and like boom, new IP, bam,
now
done.
Here's the question: if they do Furious 4. Well, people think the game is called Furious, and it's the fourth installment, and people like, what about Furious 1, 2, and 3?
Not if they spell out 4.
I know.
No,
they
don't put the number.
They can't use the number, because then it'll seem like it's the fourth installment of a series called Furious.
Hey, Joseph, why did somebody in chat just post a picture of you wearing a zebra vest and a top hat?
Because I went...
What the fuck?
That's me from the Animal Party. That's what I wore to the Animal Party.
Oh my God. Good Lord.
That's what I wore to the Animal Party a couple of, like, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
You crazy bitch.
Yeah.
Alright.
Would you expect anything less? Any other news we need to go over?
Nah, I think that's about it.
We're good. Anything else you guys want to say? It's 10 o'clock. We ready to wrap this baby up and send it off to the black market?
I think that's a good idea.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thanks everyone for coming out. It's been Cocktail Time episode 5. Episode, like, live. Cocktail Time live. I keep forgetting to add the live in episode 5 here, 4-Player Podcast. Thank you, Nick Henderson, for coming out tonight. Thank you, Chris Davis. Check out our main website, 4playerpodcast.com, and stick around. I guess someone's going to be coming on pretty soon. We'll figure it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Sure. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Good night.
Peace out.
Ludicrous speed! Go!